Hey there, Cats. I'm Alex Budish, and alongside me is my co-host Lisa Lane, and welcome to Cat Nation.
This is your football pregame show, and we are going to take a look at the Pac-10, talk about our opponent, and discuss what Arizona must do in order to win tonight.
Right, and this week we got the Citadel Bulldogs, Cats, and I am pumped. So let's get right on and look at the Cats' upcoming schedule and see how they should fare.
You know what, Alex? Before we do that, this is our home opener. I say we tell the Zona Zoo our top 5 picks in the Pac-10. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, well, my number 5 is going to Oregon State. They have Jaquiz Rogers. He's an amazing running back, and I think they're going to pull a few upsets this season. Number 4, Zona Zoo, don't hurt me, but I'm putting the Wildcats there. We have a very young defense and an extremely tough schedule. I mean, we're playing Iowa next week, so I'm going to stick our Wildcats in the number 4 spot. But of course, I hope they're number 1 and we go to the Rose Bowl. Number 3, I'm going to put Stanford in there. I know, kind of weird, but hey, they're competitive. They usually pull a few upsets during the year, and I think they might surprise us, especially because the Pac-10 is going to be so close this year. Number 2, threw this one in for you, Alex. I'm putting Washington there. You know what? Why not throw in a surprise? Make this little prediction fun. They have probably arguably one of the best quarterbacks in Jake Locker this year, so I think they might surprise us all. And number 1, no surprise, Oregon. They were number 1 last year. They're dominant this year. Didn't lose too many key players, so I think they are going to be a force to be reckoned with again this year.
Washington?
That's right.
Washington, Cats? All right, let's break it down for a sec. Now, I do consider myself the Wildcat Wizard, so let's take a second and break down my top 5. Now, in the 5 spot, I do see the Stanford Cardinal. No Gerhard, no rush game. Even though they're coming in with Andrew Luck as one of the best QBs in the conference this year, I just don't see them getting those big upset wins they need to make a big run in the conference. Number 4, USC. The once mighty giant of the Pac-10 conference has fallen on hard times as of late. Cheating. But it's time to step over and let someone else take over as the dominant team in the conference. Number 3, I see Oregon State. You're absolutely right. Jaquiz Rogers is probably the best Pac-10 running back, if not one of the best running backs in the country. And with him, they definitely are a sleeper team to win it all. However, Mike Riley has really done himself a pickle this time with scheduling probably the hardest pre-conference schedule in the nation with Boise State and TCU. If they lose both those games quickly, they could be crippled right away. But still, the number 3 spot. Number 2, sorry, Cats, Arizona. I know. Everyone wants to smell roses in Tucson for the first time, but you might have to go to a flower shop for this season, Cats, because I just don't see us coming over that hurdle. We got some tough games. Iowa, Oregon State, at Oregon, and you really got to give it up to the scheduling committee for the U of A for scheduling USC, Oregon, and ASU for our final 3 games. Definitely some tough hurdles, but with that said, if you beat Iowa, anything's possible. And finally, Oregon. Big leap, I know. With no Jeremiah Masoli, Oregon is definitely hurting. However, Thompson really looks like he is ready to step up as the Oregon QB, and the Ducks look like they're ready to see Pasadena one more time again this year. However, I hope my 1 and 2 are flipped because I would love to see my Cats in Pasadena.
As do I, but now that the Zona Zoo probably isn't that happy with us, I say we check out some upcoming Zona Zoo events.
What's up, Cats? I'm Alex Budish.
And I'm Lisa Lane, and we are co-anchors for the one and only pregame football show, Cat Nation.
Be sure to come and check us out 2 hours before every home game.
Well, I'll definitely be attending next week's Bear Down Friday on University. I'm sure it's going to be packed for that Iowa game.
God, it's always bumping down there. I can't wait to check it out this coming Friday.
All right, what do you say we break down tonight's game right now? Arizona offense versus Citadel offense. Alex, why don't you start us off?
Well, Lisa, I mean, Arizona really is coming off one of their best offensive seasons as of late, averaging 26.6 points per game last season. It was pretty impressive. After a less than reputable showing in the Holiday Bowl last season, the Cats, they're really looking forward to starting off this season right, and it all starts with the big man under center. Lisa, tell me about Nick Foles.
Foles, I'm really excited to watch him this year. He has a year under his belt. I think that's more confidence. He knows the offense better, and there's also some great offensive weapons for him to use. So I think we're going to have a great offensive season.
I agree. Arizona might have the best run game in the Pac-10 this year, Cats, with Nick Grigsby, Keola Antolin, and Daniel Jenkins, and not to mention those pretty sig wideouts like Bug Wright, Jerron Kreiner, and David Roberts.
Exactly, and I also heard great things about Nick working with Coach Frank Selfo. I think that his footwork has improved, his consistency has improved, and this year I think he's going to be ready to carry the team on his shoulders and take us to hopefully a national championship.
He really did attract a lot of national attention this year, and hopefully he can keep up that good momentum and, make some big spotlights for himself.
All right, why don't we move on to the defensive aspect? Maybe Arizona defense?
Tell me about Arizona's defense.
Well, Cats, we did lose 6 defensive starters, 3 of which were linebackers. That is going to hurt us. Why is that bad? Consistency. The consistency might be missing for our defensive end, and so that means there's a lot of pressure on our returning players to step up and still show the Pac-10 we are a tough team to be reckoned with.
Especially when we're going up to play against those big teams like Iowa and at Oregon. But in reality, Lisa, who really needs to step up the most on defense?
Well, I'm looking for Brooks Reed and Ricky Elmore to step it up. They were really the heart of our team during spring ball, and I would like to see that carry over into this season as well.
I agree, as well as our new established playmaker, Trevin Wade. Dude is a preseason Thorpe Award finalist, and we all know who won it last time for the Cats, Antoine Kaysen.
And not to keep putting down the defense, but I do want to touch on, I'm going to be looking for freshman mistakes. Right now, all of our defensive backs are freshmen. Does that worry you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's what you schedule these pre-conference games for. You got to get out all the kinks. I just want to see Arizona come out and be the strict kind of defense we've always seen them in the past couple of years. But like you said, freshman mistakes do haunt teams every once in a while.
All right, now let's move on. The Citadel defense. Alex, tell me a little bit about what we should expect.
Well, Lisa, the Citadel's defense, it just isn't that good. I mean, they really have trouble stopping the screen pass. They have trouble stopping the long pass. They have trouble stopping the rush game. I mean, they generally have trouble stopping the offense in general. I mean, I might even get out there and throw a couple deep bombs myself if this score gets run up a little bit. It could be another tough year for the Citadel Bulldogs, Cats, with even new faces on the line. But at the same time, not a team to overlook.
Definitely not. I think our Wildcats have to play every game one at a time, and this is definitely not a team to be overlooked. And I don't think you should go check out the Citadel fans anytime during this game after that one, Alex.
Probably not.
Well, Alex, I know you have the opportunity to catch up with Athletic Director Greg Byrne earlier today. Let's check it out.
What's up, Cats? I'm here with U of A Athletic Director Greg Byrne. Greg, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad to have you here on Cat Nation. Let's get started, shall we? What enticed you to come to the University of Arizona once leaving Mississippi State?
Well, growing up in the Pac-10 like I did, University of Arizona was always up on this pedestal. And when Cedric Dempsey, on behalf of Dr. Shelton, called and asked if I had some interest in the job, I was blown away. I hadn't really thought about it. And the more Regina and I talked about the opportunity that was here and knowing the great history and the opportunity to get better, it was just too much to turn down. And so we're thrilled to be part of the Arizona family.
That's great. We're happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
So, what makes you unique compared to a lot of athletic directors around the country, especially in the Pac-10 maybe?
Well, I guess I'm young. I get reminded of that occasionally, but there was a lot of good ADs, and I think obviously I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I take what I do very seriously. I don't take myself too seriously, and so the approach I try to take as leader of the department is just knowing and showing our staff that we're going to give a great effort. That I tell people that want to get in this industry all the time, this isn't a job, it's a lifestyle. And so you need to understand that there's a lot of nights, there's a lot of weekends, there's just a real commitment to what you're doing. And so my family and I have that commitment, and we're thrilled to be part of it here at Arizona.
Great. And what are your expectations of Arizona football this year? I know a lot of people are curious about that.
Well, I'm not going to get in the projection business necessarily, but I'm really proud of the job that Coach Stoops has done. He took over a very challenging situation. And football, as much as sometimes people think it's just one player here, one player there, and a coach here, it's a lot. There's so many aspects that go into it, and he's done a great job building the program.
Okay. And what are your feelings of the Pac-12 expansion? I know that you came in right at the highlight of that. I know that you probably were thrown right in the middle of it. What are your thoughts on it?
Obviously, adding Colorado and Utah brings a lot to our school, and brings a lot to our league. And there's a new marketplaces and areas that we're going to be getting to that we maybe hadn't been as exposed before. The other thing it did is it showed this isn't the same Pac-10 that it had been in the past. Yeah. Great history, great tradition, great conference. At the same time, too, just like anything else, college athletics will continue to evolve, and it's great to see that Arizona's part of that moving forward.
Speaking on more of that moving forward, how do you think that the Pac-12 is gonna benefit Arizona in terms of obviously national revenue and appeal to recruits and more just national recognition for the school in general?
Yeah, it puts us in a good place when it comes to negotiating our next round of television contracts, which is a key component of funding for us. We do get some state tuition waivers, but other than that, we're financially independent, and we want to make sure we stay that way. So we're a great marketing arm for campus, that we educate a lot of young men and young women that wouldn't have, some of them wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to go to school. And we want to make sure we're making a difference in every impact that we can with every part of campus and the community and our student athletes.
That's great. Finally, Greg, I know that you are a diehard Wildcat fan yourself, so we at the Zona Zoo wanted to give you your Zona Zoo t-shirt.
That's great. I wear this proudly.
All right, we wanted to know if you wanted to say anything to the student body at large.
We first of all, thanks everybody for their support. We need you out here. We need you loud. We want to make sure we're classy with it too. We want to be known as the loudest place in the Pac-10, loudest place on the West Coast, and at the same time the classiest place. When you get done, come back to school. We need you here. We want you involved and engaged. We're trying to communicate with you through Twitter and Facebook, and even giving away some stuff through Twitter. So I'd encourage you to be engaged with us through our social media outlets too. But thanks for what you do. Have a great time. Stay for the whole game. We'll put a good product out on the field for you.
Thanks, Cats. Let's send it back to Cat Nation. Bear down.
I'm really excited to have Greg on our team this year. He's really establishing some great traditions.
He's got some great things planned for us, Cats, so you got to stay tuned for that.
Well, you know what, Alex? You were not the only one who got to catch up with some amazing people this week. Our very own Andy Blejo was at the women's volleyball game.
Take it away, Andy.
Thanks, Alex and Lisa. I'm here at McHale Court where the volleyball team is hosting the Wildcat Classic. Here with Courtney Karst, outside hitter. Courtney, what's going on through your head during a game?
For me, I don't really think about much. I just go out and I try and play the game. If I think about too much, then my mind gets all cluttered and I start to freak out. So usually I just try and keep my mind clear and I think about the next point.
After a tough loss like San Luis Obispo, how does the team rebound?
Well, that game was kind of weird. We all were kind of shaky because it was the first match. We didn't really know how we were going to react to each other. So after that, we kind of just forgot about it. We kept it in the back of our heads, but we forgot about it and we moved on to the next game.
How would you explain the team's relationship and mentality as a whole?
We're pretty close. We all hang out all the time and we go to dinner all the time and stuff. So, I mean, when we're in practice, we joke around a lot and we just mess around with each other. So I guess we're really close as a team.
And when you guys are ranked, do you feel like you have a target on your back? Is preparation any different?
When we're playing not ranked opponents, there's for sure a target on our back, and there's for sure a target on our back this year, but it doesn't really change anything. We don't ever talk about it or think about it. We don't let it phase us or anything.
And describe your role on the team. Are you a leader? Do you watch back, set back from the sidelines? Like, what's your role on the team?
I would consider myself one of the leaders. I try and talk all the time. I try and not make as many errors. I try and lead by example. I'm not really a vocal leader. So, yeah.
Awesome game today against the Bulldogs, and good luck against Louisville.
Thank you.
Alex and Lisa, back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Andy. The women's volleyball games are always so much fun. I'll definitely be checking some out this year.
It's going to be a pretty exciting season. I'm going to definitely get out and check some out.
All right, I'm getting so excited for tonight's game, so I say right now we need to talk about what Arizona needs to win our season home opener. I'll take it away. It's really simple. We need to attack, 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 embrace the Zona Zoo section, embrace being at home, and get at those Bulldogs' hearts early on in the game.
I couldn't have said it better myself. U of A needs to remember to attack the air early and at the same time get that pretty stacked run game we got involved at the very beginning. If Foles can remember to attack the air and get the ball up the field and the Zona Zoo is loud and proud, like it always is, this should be a win. Don't break my heart in the first home game, Cats. This is going to be a good season.
It definitely will. Well, that does it for us tonight. Make sure to come back and pack the Zona Zoo section next week as we take on Iowa, and Alex and I will be breaking down the game as well. For Cat Nation, I'm Lisa Lane.
And I'm Alex, the Wildcat Wizard Budish, saying bear down, and we'll see you at the game.
Yeah, let's go. All right. They don't really want it like the U of A. They don't really want it